This is an introduction to some of the materials that we use in making some of the basic bookbinding structures, such as this single section hardcover pamphlet binding. The first thing we're going to look at is paper. Obviously very useful for the pages of your book. All machine-made paper has what's called the grain direction. So in order to work out what grain direction your paper is, you gently bounce it on itself. You gently go as if you're going to fold it and bounce it, and you'll feel one direction has more resistance than the other. One direction is easier to fold and one is harder to fold. So I don't know if you can see from here, this one, it's much easier. It's going down much more easily, and this one is giving little resistance. So this is what's called long grain. If you imagine the paper fibres, when paper is running through the mill in this direction, they're like logs on a stream. And if you imagine that these are the fibres, the long grain direction like this, it's easy to fold them like this, but it's obviously impossible with a sushi rolling mat, but it's obviously harder to fold it like this. So why is this important? Well, when we are making a book in an ideal world, sometimes there are exceptions to the rule, we want the grain direction to run parallel with the spine. And this is to help with when you're gluing it, when it's drying, when you're get to rounding and backing. There's all sorts of reasons why, but it's good to have it in your mind that this is what you want to achieve. There are a couple of other ways that you can work out the grain direction. If you take your thumb and forefinger and middle finger and you pull sharply along the edge of the paper, you'll see that this end it's cockling and this end it remains straight, and that means that the fibres are running out of this end, long grain. Another one, I'll do it off this camera, I don't know if you can see this. So I've dampened this edge and you can see it's beginning to cockle, and this edge is remaining in a straight line. Again, the fibres are running out this way, it's long grain. Another thing to think about when you're designing your books is imposition, which is the way that the pages are laid out on the sheet of paper prior to folding down for sewing. If you're working in InDesign, or if you talk to Owen or Lara or Isaac in digital print, they can lay out the pages for you in the correct position. But if I just demonstrate on this piece of paper I've pre-folded, you'll see that the page numbers run. So here's page 2 and page 15, page 6 and page 11. If you flip it over, you'll see here is page 1 and 16, page 8 and 9. When I fold it down, the pages will end up in the right order. So I now have page 1 at the front and page 16 at the back. This is a 16-page section now. Obviously page 2, 3, 4, 5, they're now running in the right order. 8 and 9 is at the centre of the section. So it's just worth thinking about your page layout and the imposition, and talking to one of the technicians in digital print to help you get it printed in the right order. Next, we're going to talk about Greyboard. This is 2mm Greyboard. We use this to make hard covers of books and also for box making. Again, it has a grain direction. So if you gently flex it, you'll see that one way is a lot easier to flex than the other. So this one, the grain direction is going this way. And again, it's important that that Greyboard's grain direction is running parallel with the spine. The next material we're going to talk about is Mull. It's a very open weave fabric that looks like this, and we use it as a reinforcement for the book. So prior to gluing down the end papers, we wrap it around the back of the section, and it just makes the book a lot stronger. Finally, we're looking at book cloth. And this is a cloth, either a polyester or a cotton or a linen cloth, and it's sized so that when you glue on the back of here, the glue doesn't ooze through onto the right side of the cloth. For this particular book, we're just using a strip of book cloth like this, for the spine. And it's much more durable than paper because you can flex it and it won't crack. Finally, we're looking at PVA glue. You can use any PVA, but I recommend that you use the specific PVA that we have in stock at college. This is a 𝗖𝗿𝗍𝗶𝘁𝘀 one, but you can buy other bookbinding PVAs from other suppliers. This PVA, it could do with a little bit of watering down. It's a little bit gloopy at this point. The joy of this is that it stays flexible when it dries. Some of the other PVAs get very brittle when they dry. And also, if you leave it in your brushes, you can wash it out with hot water. Having said that, please wash out your brushes immediately after use. So that's a brief introduction to some of the most common materials that we use in bookbinding.